like online, because that's really what it is. It's the photographs and stuff that come through the feed.
Right.
And I was like, what? Because she had like
She reportedly sent over shocking footage that Terrence Howard claims exposes what really went down at Diddy's so-called private parties. And now, Terrence isn't holding back anymore. After years of staying quiet, he's finally speaking out at hand. According to him, the truth is uglier than anyone imagined. For a long time, Terrence has said he was quietly pushed out of Hollywood after refusing to play along with the secret games run by powerful insiders. Back then, many people brushed him off. But now, with fresh allegations surfacing and old rumors resurfacing, the public is starting to look at those warnings very differently. And here's the twist. Diddy isn't the only name being pulled into the spotlight. Terrence also makes explosive claims involving Diddy's on-again, off-again partner, Young Miami. He alleges she was closely connected to these behind-the-scenes gatherings. But what really stunned people is what he says was captured on camera. That if even part of this is true, it raises serious questions about what's been happening behind closed doors and how much the industry has been hiding in plain sight. One thing's for sure, this story is far from over, and the fallout is only just beginning.
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to... That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands-off with somebody. A number of producers come in to make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth.
This situation is about to blow wide open, no question about it. What Terrence Howard is saying about Diddy has people doing double takes, because none of it was forced. Nobody cornered him. Nobody pushed him. He came out and said it on his own. A few days ago, Terrence popped up on a podcast, and you could tell he'd been carrying this for a long time. Once he started talking, it was clear he had a lot to get off his chest about. Diddy, and what he described sounded eerily familiar to rumors that have followed Diddy for years. The strange behavior, the uncomfortable situations, the whispered stories people were always afraid to say out loud. According to Terrence, Diddy reached out claiming he needed help with acting. Now think about that for a second. Diddy may step in front of the camera from time to time, but he's not exactly someone who needs private acting lessons. Still, Terrence assumed it was strictly business and showed up ready to work. But the moment he arrived, the vibe shifted. Terrence says Diddy started moving differently, like there was another agenda entirely. That's when Terrence shut it down immediately. He made it clear he wasn't built for games like that, and wasn't sticking around for anything that felt off. And here's where it gets even heavier. Terrence claims his experience wasn't unique. He alleged that Diddy made similar advances toward other men who showed up at these exclusive gatherings. According to him, those parties weren't just about networking or celebration, they were environments where boundaries got blurred, and people felt pressured in ways they didn't expect. What makes this even more unsettling is that this isn't the first time Terrence has hinted at Hollywood's darker side. For years, he's suggested that he was quietly pushed out of the industry not because of talent, not because of a lack of roles, but because he refused to compromise himself. He's said before that once he stood his ground and refused to play along, the narrative flipped. Suddenly, he was labeled difficult, unstable, hard to work with. The same playbook many say Hollywood uses when someone doesn't fall in line. For a long time, people dismissed him. But now, with more voices speaking up and old stories resurfacing, folks are starting to wonder what if Terrence was telling the truth all along. And this might just be the beginning.
But when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the Puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Get punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man.
It's the same worn-out playbook they've been using for years. The moment you speak up or refuse to play by their dirty rules, they flip the script and turn you into the problem. Suddenly, you're the villain. That's why so many people were stunned when Terrence Howard announced his retirement from acting in December 2022. The timing just didn't add up. He was still booking major roles, his fan base was solid, and there wasn't any public scandal pushing him out. On the surface, it made no sense. But according to Terrence, there was a whole different story unfolding behind closed doors. He said the industry was putting him in uncomfortable, questionable situations, ones he felt were designed to strip away his dignity as a man. And when he refused to go along with it, the backlash was immediate. Thus is the darker side of the entertainment business that rarely gets talked about. One thing Terrence has been especially vocal about is the pressure he claims he faced to wear dresses for certain roles. He stood firm against it, saying those scenes had nothing to do with the storyline and felt more like an attempt to embarrass him or undermine his masculinity. And let's be real, this conversation didn't come out of nowhere. Over the years, several black male actors and comedians have spoken about being pushed into similar situations, asked to play roles that made no sense creatively but seemed to follow a pattern. Cat Williams addressed this head-on during his interview on Club Shay Shay. He broke it down plainly, explaining that this kind of pressure runs much deeper in Hollywood than most people realize. According to Cat, those offers often come with big checks attached. Money that looks tempting on paper but comes at the cost of your self-respect. Cat even admitted he turned down major paydays just to protect his integrity. And when that interview went viral, Terrence didn't hesitate to step in and back him up. He echoed Cat's claims and made it clear this wasn't coincidence, it was a system. And what Terrence said next, that's where things really started to get interesting.
Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting the body. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. See, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you. That's why I can say them so freely.
I need another one. You here, get you another one.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Come on.
Because early on you was accusing me of being...
Y'all remember those old rumors saying Terrence Howard got dropped from Hollywood because he had a bad temper or was too difficult to work with? Well, according to Terrence himself, that story didn't come from nowhere, it was manufactured. Terrence has said straight up that he was raised to never bend his spine or silence his voice just to fit in. In his words, he wasn't raised to be a follower, he was raised to stand firm. And he believes that mindset is exactly why the industry turned on him. He's openly said that being a strong, outspoken man feels like a liability nowadays, especially in spaces that reward conformity over character. He's also claimed there's a deeper agenda at play, one that, in his view, works to weaken and soften black men in entertainment because confident, independent black men are seen as a threat. Terrence has doubled down on this in multiple interviews, saying men are often pressured to trade their identity and self-respect for opportunities. One thing he's consistently called out is being pushed into roles and scenes he felt had nothing to do with the story and everything to do with humiliation. He said he refused those moments in. Once he did, the doors started closing fast. Suddenly, the narrative flipped. He wasn't principled anymore. He was difficult. And let's be real, this conversation didn't start with Terrence. Over the years, several black male entertainers have said they faced similar pressure. Cat Williams broke it all the way down during his Club Shay Shay interview, explaining how lucrative offers often come with invisible strings attached. Big money, but at the cost of your integrity. Cat even admitted he turned down serious checks just to stay true to himself. When that interview went viral, Terrence immediately showed support, making it clear this wasn't coincidence, it was a pattern. Now fast forward to today. With Terrence speaking out again and calling out Diddy directly, fans are starting to connect the dots. And here's where things take another turn. Word is Terrence may still be sitting on even more information stuff that could make what's already been said look minor. At the same time, 50 Cent has quietly entered the picture. When Terrence's interview blew up, 50 initially brushed it off, saying he was staying positive. But anyone who knows 50 knows one thing. Silence from him usually doesn't last. There have also been serious legal allegations surrounding people in Diddy's inner circle, brought forward in lawsuits and court filings. These claims paint a disturbing picture of manipulation, pressure, and abuse of power allegations that are still playing out through the legal system. Multiple names keep popping up, multiple stories seem to overlap, and while nothing has been fully decided in court yet, the volume of accusations alone has people asking hard questions. Add in 50 Cent's long-running tension with Diddy, and this situation feels like it's sitting on a time bomb. If more evidence surfaces or if someone decides to speak again, things could escalate fast. Right now, the pressure is building, the spotlight is getting hotter, and the silence from certain people is getting louder. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe for more updates, and drop a comment letting me know what you think about all of this. This story is far from over. Stay tuned, I'll catch you in the next one.